In this video, we are going to learn about 5 filter function example, and I'm going to tell you how we can use filter function as a basic, and I'm going to tell you how we can use it as an advanced function. Now we are going to cover five examples in it. Now let's begin. This is a live session, let me tell you, so you can ask your doubts in the chat session. So I'm going to start with the simple one. Here I'm going to cover the simple one example. In this example, what I'm going to cover, I need to just filter out that data in which department is research. So basically I'm going to filter out that data in which department research is appearing, and I'm going to extract that data from here to here. So what I need to do, I need to start from the filter function. So filter function can filter out your data from the large data set and extract one data set or multiple data set as per your need. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with filter function. Now let's filter. Now here is array and here is include, here is if empty. Now this is called as, this whole thing is called as syntax, and these three are called as arguments. Now if I'm talking about this array means your data, means which data you want to filter out. In my example, my data would be this one. Now let me just lock my data, comma. You can lock your data by pressing F4 key. Now if I'm talking about include, now here is the trick of include. Whenever I'm discussing include, it means you can just put your criteria, on which criteria you want to filter out your data. But every time this include shall come in true and falses. Let me tell you, let's say I'm going to filter out my data in uh, based on the department. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select this column and press F4 key and keeping equal sign with this one, lock this. Now every time include will show me true and falses. If the department will equal to research, then it will give me true, and if the department will not equal to true, not equal to research, then what is going to provide us, it is not, it is going to provide false. So every time you need to build a formula or a syntax or a logic, so that you can just get the answer in true and false only. Now if I'm going to talk about this evaluation part, so how we can evaluate the formula part, just select your data like this and press F9 key like this. See, it is going to provide me some true and falses. See, false, false, false. There are some true, there are some false. So every time when the department is equal to research, it is going to provide us true. And if the department is not equal to research, then it is going to provide us false. By pressing F9 key, you can evaluate your data. Now I'm pressing Control Z to come back. Now here it is, my formula. Now it is saying if empty, what do you want? See, if the formula would not be evaluate or there may be some error, then what do you want? Then I want, let's say, nothing. For nothing, I need to press double quotes here. So here it is, double quotes, and close the parentheses and enter, and you can see my data has filtered out based on the research department. So this is very simple example. We need to take care about the include part. Every time the answer should come in true and falses. You can build up any logic. Now let's come to next example. Any doubt from the previous session you can ask in the comment section. Now let's come to next example. In this example, what I'm going to filter out, I'm going to filter out two conditions, either research, either research or waste. Means my data may consist either research or waste. So if my data has region west, then I need to filter out, and if my data has department research, then I need to filter out that data. So basically we have or conditions here. So it means we need to build a or syntax so that we can filter out our data and we need to fulfill these both conditions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to filter out my data once again. Filter, now here it is array means what do you want to filter, and here it's array. Now let's lock it once again, comma. Now here is the include part. So I'm going to build one logic, then I'm going to build second logic, then I will tell you how we can concatenate these two logics if we are going to deal with the or, either research or west. So I'm going to basically deal with the both the arguments and how. Let's talk about include. So first is research, either research. So I'm going to talk about here department, lock it, equals, now this one lock it. Now it will search out the data based on the department, and that will equal to research. So if you want the either condition, then you need to add then you need to put a plus sign. So what I'm going to do, just put the parentheses in the starting, in the end. Now I'm going to add the second condition for the or criteria. Whenever I'm talking about or criteria, then I need to give a plus sign. So here it is west. So reason, select your data, log. Again we need to put this in parentheses, equal, and here it is west, lock it. Now close the parentheses, now comma. Now if empty, what do you want? I want nothing, let's say blank. Now close the parentheses. So what is going to provide us? Either research or west. So now enter, and you can see my department, here it is west department and research. Here is it only north, there is no west, but here research is appearing, so my data has filtered out. And if I'm going to talk about this example, here we don't have any department research, but the reason is west, so that's why the data has filtered out. So this is the or condition. So this is the plus sign which gave us the or condition in filter function. Now let's talk about third example of filter function. Now as similar as previous example, I'm going to filter out the department research and reason west, but this time I'm not giving the or criteria, I'm giving the and criteria. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to again use the filter function. So array would be this whole data, my array, lock it, comma. Now I'm going to talk about include. Include, again I'm going to talk about research department. So select your department column. Now select it till the end. My system has hanged. Oops. Now lock it, equal sign, and research. Again we need to put this into parentheses because we have two conditions here. So whenever we have or condition, we put plus sign, and when we have and condition, means both the conditions shall be satisfied, then we need to put the multiply sign or asterisk. So here it is. Now again I'm going to take the second one, reason, lock it, shall be equal to west. Now lock it and close the parentheses, and for empty I would say blank, close the parentheses and enter. And here it is west department and west region, and department is research. So both the conditions shall be satisfied. For that we need to put asterisk, otherwise we need to put plus sign. So here it is. Now this is the fourth example. I'm going to deal with the example. I'm going to filter out those transactions in which the name is starting from the R. So if I'm going to filter out that name, let's say I'm putting filter. So I am just putting filter here. Here we have some names that is starting with R. Let's say Rahul Sharma, Rajesh, and Renu. So here we have three names. I'm going to filter out that data. Again, don't forget the logic. Includes always shall come in true and falses only. Now I am going to put find function here. Why find? Find function tell me the position of a special character of a character. So let's say if I'm going to talk about, and find is case sensitive. If you are talking about not case sensitive function, that is search. So search is not case sensitive and find is case sensitive. So if see, every time the name shall be starting from the capital R, so that's why I'm taking capital R in it. Within text, I'm here, so here it is. I'm going to select my data like this, F4 comma, starting position would be 1, enter. So every time when the name shall be starting from R, it is going to provide a number 1 every time. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to check whether this is number or not. What it will give us, it will give us true and falses. That will build a include situation. So is number, is number provide us whether this is a number or not. If this would be an error, it will provide us false. If this is a number, then it will give us true. So close the parentheses and enter. You can see here we have true and false conditions. So you don't need to just cram these criteria. You can simply put any conditions, any functions, and you will get the answer in true and false. That will satisfy your include condition. Now I'm going to filter out that transactions. Filter array would be your whole data. See, the problem is I have started from the D4. Now I need to choose the array without the headers. So I'm going to select my data like this, comma, and include part. This whole thing is your include part. Now for empty, I would say blank. Close the parentheses and enter. And you can see the transaction is having a name starting with the R has filtered out. So you can see my data. Every time you can use find, or you can build a logic true and falses, so that will give you correct result in find function. Otherwise find function will not evaluate, it will show you blank, because if empty condition is blank. Now in the last example, let me just correct it. It is not example 4, it is example 5. In the last example, what I'm going to filter out, I'm going to filter out the west region, but I don't need all the columns. What I need only transaction code, and I need only the sales transactions. It means I need two columns, transaction code and sales, but I need to filter out my data based on this region. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to filter my transactions. Array would be your whole data. So I'm not taking serial number, you can take it. Let's take it. uh, so I'm selecting my data from the beginning, serial number. So array include would be so I'm going to filter out my data first, reason. Now equal sign and west, lock it, F4. Now our data has filtered out. What we need only two columns. First is transaction code, and you can see transaction code is here. Second is we need only sales. So what, how we can filter out the data based on the column. So we need only two columns. And if you are using Office 365, then you have a new function called choose columns. So choose column provide you uh, limited column from the multiple columns. So let's say I want this column and this column, so let me just use choose column function, choose columns. And what is your array? This whole thing is your array, comma, column number. Which column number do you want in it? So let me count it, 1 and 2. I need second column because it is a transaction code. And 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. Ninth column is the sales volume, so I need 9 column also, 2 and 9. So choose column will extract the limited columns, n number of columns as you want from the multiple columns. So now what you need to do, just close the parentheses and enter, and you will see here is the transaction code and here is the sale volume. And if you will change the reason, so it will automatically filter out that data. So here is the filter function, and we have covered very basic, little bit advanced, and advanced. Now if you are liking my video, you can just subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for the